Welcome back to the Kyrstyn podcast. I can't even speak today, so that's cool. I'm your host, Kat. Scott now, so that's cool. My name's changed. Yay for getting married. Dope, love that. We have a special guest today, and I'm really excited. Her first time being on a podcast, period, as well as my podcast. Welcome to the podcast, my wife, Kyrstyn Scott.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here in our house.
Yeah. You guys, we were recording live for the first time in our new office because we bought a house a few weeks ago. We've been spending the last few weeks busy in freaking abundance to the point where our bodies hurt, but gratitude in the things that we are so incredibly stressed over. But we have had a very highly requested podcast episode to come out, or just story in general, even Instagram Live, which still might be a thing, is just us discussing a little bit how we met, because everything escalated.
Yes. How we met like 8 months ago, 9 months ago.
And now we're married with a house.
Yeah.
Love that for us.
I know, go us.
Go us. So let's just jump right into it, because hosh posh, all the things. Let's skip right to it, us millennials with our short attention spans. Why don't you go ahead and tell the audience, who I'm sure if you follow me, you guys know who she is, and she's everywhere, all over my stuff. But if you are new here, hey, welcome. This is a judgment-free space where we say stupid shit all the time, and I love that for us, and we do it in the name of growth. All right, babe, why don't you go ahead and tell the beautiful people, just a little bit how you ended up in Florida, and then how we met.
Okay. Interesting.
She pushes her sunglasses up, you guys.
Because I need them to be able to talk onto a podcast.
Nice.
Okay, so I ended up in Florida just a year ago, actually less than a year ago, November 2020, right? We're in 2021 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My parents moved out here. I moved out here not long afterwards. And in this day and age, everybody uses dating apps.
Oh, yeah.
This would be what first started how we met.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So I was on a dating app, and I actually saw both of Kat's profiles.
Awkward.
Yeah. One, I said absolutely not, and I did swipe left on that one. And then the other one, when it said that she was divorced, I was like, this girl gets it. And I ended up swiping right because I didn't know anybody in the area. And
didn't remember the first profile I had posted.
Yeah, at this point, did not remember the first profile, yes. Not knowing it was the same person. But I did not know anybody here, so I was looking for friends. I was 110% emotionally unavailable and not looking for any type of relationship other than a friendship.
Which is hard to find.
Yes. So we had started talking. I asked her how many kids she had because the dating profile stated that she had kids. She then told me that she had 3.
You could just say, I told you had 3. Like, you're talking to me. We're having a conversation.
All right, cool. You told me that you had 3, and I looked at my sister and said, well, this is not going to be a thing, and I threw my phone across the room.
Because you were not about to date somebody with, kids or
Correct.
Boys, especially 3 kids, because that's a lot.
Correct.
I get it.
Yeah, so it started out pretty effortlessly. There was 0 effort anywhere.
Because we were just going to be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being friends. And I even blew you off for 2 weeks because I didn't even want to hang out with a friend. I didn't want to hang out with anybody. Yeah. Let's see what happened next. We talked for 2 weeks?
Yeah, we texted.
While I had COVID.
In the evening. It was only a few days, kind of, I think, in total, because you'd be sick for a few days or I'd disappear, but it was always in the evening at night.
Yeah.
Because I was working a lot and you were dying of COVID. So it was more towards the end of the evening, just needing good quality conversation that had no expectation and no effort needed to impress anybody.
Yes.
And it made it really easy.
Yeah, because we definitely didn't expect anything.
Yeah, literally nothing. When I downloaded the dating app, I downloaded it for a whopping 2 hours and then decided that was just too much and not going to be a thing. Because dating is just, I mean, for anyone who's out there, dating, especially with these dating apps, is just exhausting and ridiculous and energetically draining. And I also was not looking for a relationship in any way, shape, or form. We bonded over the fact that we were emotionally unavailable and not ready for commitment in any way.
Yes.
And it's not even that we weren't ready. We just didn't want to be in a commitment. And I know for me, I attracted emotionally unavailable people usually because I didn't want to lose my freedom, which is what happened, in my last marriage and all the beautiful fun things. Like I lost freedom and a sense of identity, and I didn't want that to happen. And so I acknowledged that and recognized that and decided I wasn't going to be in a relationship. And I saw your dating profile, and I saw this girl with gauged-ass ears, so hell fucking no. And all of these tattoos, and all I thought to myself was, holy shit, somebody has wrecked this poor woman. But friends are great.
Friends are great.
Like, it would be great to have conversation and to hang out with somebody who wasn't trying to, sleep with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I was right there with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we were just sick and tired of people taking advantage.
Well, not only that, but nobody knows how to be a friend anymore. They always want something more, want a relationship, want something. Nobody knows how to be a friend.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. So when I took a really weird day with no backup plan going to the beach, and I think I talked about this on a previous podcast a little bit how we met, but I just released all expectation, cut out a bunch of toxic people, was crying on the beach with 2% battery, and just told you to come pick me up.
Yeah.
Even though you were dying of COVID, and I didn't really realize you were still sick. I didn't even realize how sick you really were till like 2 days ago when we met.
Yeah. I was super sick. I had no intentions of hanging out with you that day.
I know. I tried to hang out with you that morning because I didn't want to go hang out with the shitty people I was hanging out with.
Yeah, you even sent me a message on Snapchat that said, attention please, that same day. And yeah, I had zero intentions of hanging out with anybody because I was so sick. And I happened to be driving past the stop sign to the parking lot where you were when you messaged me and said that you did not want to be there anymore. And I was at the same stop sign.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be.
Divine timing, quite literally.
Something like that.
And then you picked me up, and I had a whole bitch fit about how annoyed by people I am and how I hate people.
Yeah.
And how they take advantage of you and nobody can just be your freaking friend anymore. And that just people always fall in love with me, and I love that for them, but I hate that for me.
Yes. Yes. That conversation went on for about 3 hours.
It was great. Well, we played basketball.
Yeah.
And you were trying not to die of COVID, apparently.
I know. I played it so cool.
And then you drove me home, which was like 45 minutes away. And that was really sweet. And we've been together ever since. Looking back on it, probably shouldn't jump in a car with a stranger, with somebody you've never talked to on the phone.
Yeah.
At least you picking up a stranger that you've never actually met before. You could have just driven away if I wasn't who I said I was.
I mean, you could have just not got in the car if I wasn't who I said I was.
Yeah, once I got in and saw who you were. First thing I noticed, car smelled great, car was clean.
Yeah.
Already better than most.
Yeah. Those standards are pretty low.
Yeah. Shut up. Again, it was not going to be a thing, though. There was no standards, unless it's just standards for friends. But, long story short, we've been together every day since.
Well, and you forgot that you came back to my house that day.
Oh, yeah. That night, so you drove me home.
Yes.
And then I took a 45-minute power nap. I hadn't slept in 2 days. Incredibly hungover because I had just a horrible night the night before. And yeah, I took a 45-minute power nap, went and hung out with my friends down on the beach at the bars, and they needed a sober driver to drive them back to Navarre, which was another 45 minutes in the opposite direction of where I lived. I never even went to Navarre, you guys. It was just too far. There was no point. And I now been there twice in that same day and was driving all the way back to Navarre at like, 8?
No, it was way late.
Well, by the time I got there, it was like 9 or 10
Yeah.
at night, and realized I was only 8 minutes away, and I really did not want to hang out with these douchebags. So I just dropped them off.
Yep.
And came over and hung out with you.
When we realized I probably had COVID.
Yeah, you're just like, you're like, it's all good. I just haven't been able to smell or taste anything in a few weeks. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to kill me.
To be fair, though, we were like 3 feet apart the entire time.
Yeah, half asleep.
Yeah.
Till about 2 a.m. And then I drove home.
I know, which was such a dick move. Like, I was just like, I know you haven't slept in 3 days and you've been hungover and you're really sad about your shitty friends, but good luck, I'll see you around.
And then we had our first not a date.
Yes.
Like a day later.
A day later.
Yeah, we had our not a date because it was not a date.
No, but I got my hair cut for it.
Yes. Because we were, yeah, interesting. We did get your haircut for our not a date.
Yeah.
And then on our not a date, it rained like crazy. So we stayed inside and just told each other every toxic thing we've ever done in a relationship with 2 people.
Yeah, for hours. Until like 6 o'clock in the morning.
And then you went to work.
And then I went to work.
I don't know how the fuck you used to do that.
I know now we're like, can we just go to bed at 8 o'clock?
Okay. Like, it's getting late. It's like 8:25 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we just can't help but be up at 7 a.m. now every morning.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was in February to March, and it's now November, and we are married and in our house, and now recording podcasts in our office. How cool. Love that for us.
Yeah, and you're my boss now.
Well, that's cool too.
A lot has changed.
Yeah. Love that for us. Okay. Oh, fun question. So we had lots of, and we have been on, I mean, if you follow, you probably know, a million adventures, I feel like.
Yeah, in a bunch of different states.
Like,
we've been pretty fortunate this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how you see it as fortunate.
Yeah.
Some people could see it as stressful. I mean, 1 month alone, we had 4 or 5 trips.
Yeah, and they were all driving trips. Ohio, different parts of Florida. A lot of parts of Florida, now that I think of it.
And the busy and abundance has come from, I mean, just my work.
Yes.
Like, it's just so freaking cool that we've done all these things.
Yes.
And just been absolute terrorists in general to each other, but in the best way. I still can't believe we've been together every single day. That kind of makes us seem mentally unstable.
We are.
All right.
It's been 9 months. We met. We moved in. We got married. We bought a house. We technically share a dog.
You technically should. Let's go ahead and explain to people why lesbian relationships happen so freaking fast.
Oh, okay. So, we think that it is because, like, a normal heterosexual couple, right, guy and a girl, date, and they go on, like, a date a week starting out, maybe every other week. So they really only start out seeing each other 4 to 8 hours, a month, right? And then that goes on for months. But I feel like lesbian couples, like, their first date will last 3 days long.
Yeah. And then you come home from a date and it's only been like 3 or 4 hours, and straight people will be like, oh, it must have went really well. You were there for 4 hours, and you're like, no, it obviously went terrible.
Yeah,
like, I came home.
Horrible. Like, I'm here. Yeah,
like,
that's exactly.
It's like you're hanging out, and then you go to dinner, and then you want to go do something, and then you're like, oh my God, there's like art festival tomorrow. You want to go? Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah. But it's not, I don't even think I think it's females versus a male being anywhere in, like, the conversation we had before.
Yeah,
like,
you're totally right.
Yeah,
just men in general. Or like women, lesbians tend to hook up and be committed and have that, like, that is just like super, like, fast tracked. Yeah. Heterosexual, it's like medium, and then, like, I mean, gay men tend to just, this is not all gay men, obviously, but they take forever.
Well, and that's the thing, like, why, like, everybody asks or, like, thinks it's crazy we've only been together for so long, but why does the time matter? Mm-hmm. Like, if I thought to myself, oh, I'm spending too much time with her, well, then I'm going to spend less time with her and not think anything of it. Like, it's not like at any point in these last, whatever it is, 8 months, 9 months, we've ever been like, I feel like it's been too much. Has it been too much for you? Like, we just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. We just went with it.
Open communication.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot of just communicating even when it's hard.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And we also did not have any expectations.
Yeah, zero. Like, opposite of zero expectations.
Yeah.
Like, that was just not going to be a thing, to the point where I don't even think people could even truly believe how much it was just not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And turns out you're a great flirt when you just don't give a fuck about what the other person thinks of you.
Pretty much. I don't even think we flirted, though. I think I was like, I've done this, and this that was terrible and crazy, and you're like, I can top that. Like,
turns out we're both shitty people.
Yeah.
Or we acknowledge our shitty mistakes and are trying to improve them. But all right, I got some awesome awesome questions from some of the followers here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this one.
Okay.
Was it love at first sight? Definitely not.
No, I don't think it was love at first sight, but it was like
compatibility.
Not even that, but I was just like, oh, this is gonna be somebody different. Like I'm gonna like, I don't have any expectations. I just want to be friends, but I'm gonna go about it in a way like with no walls. Like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it's truly detaching from the outcome.
Yeah.
Like totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it was love at first sight. It was more like, hey, you're pretty dope at first sight.
Yeah, you're pretty dope. I want to say it was energetically easy.
Yeah.
Like, it was easy to swipe on yours. I honestly, like, the 2 hours I did have a her dating profile the second time, which we'll get there in a second. I'll just explain that. So I only had it for a few hours, and then I, like, uninstalled it, and I only got, like, 2 friends, or people, like, women I wouldn't even say were, quote-unquote, my type, or people I was trying to date at the time, because it was just too exhausting. It's just, I was not gonna try. I had wanted to put way too much energy into my business versus that. And I finally started to understand the whole concept between, like, I'm just too busy growing my career to date.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I forgot where I was going with that train of thought. But the reason I had 2 of the dating profiles was, I mean, the first one said open relationship because I was married and dating women at the time.
And I said, hell no.
Which is valid. 10 out of 10 do not recommend that. 0 out of 10 recommend doing that. So even if you have 100% encouragement from the other person involved, it's not a good idea.
No.
It's just hilarious that you saw that original profile first when you were
here on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the craziest part. I saw when I was here on vacation looking at houses in, like, August or... No, I guess it was October because it was right around Halloween. And then did not realize that it was the same person. Like, I knew that like, when I matched with you that it looked familiar, but not until I got the whole rundown of your past life. Then that's when it clicked that it was the same profile.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah, I would not say it was love at first sight, but it was energetically easy.
Yeah.
Everything's always just kind of been easy.
Yeah.
Which is why we spend so much time together.
It was friendship at first sight.
Yeah.
Especially because the way I looked.
You're pretty dope. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that the worst? Like, I'm like, guys, I looked at her and said, fuck no.
Yeah. And you couldn't even cop to it until, like, weeks later. Like, even with my ears.
Yeah, you always knew the right.
It's like, I know you hate these things.
I don't hate them, I'm just not used to them. And now I just don't see them
at
all. Now I think they're pretty dope.
Yeah.
Pretty dope at first sight. Pretty disgusted at first.
Right.
And then, like, the fact that I hate scary movies almost more than anything in this world, and you have an entire tattoo sleeve of scary movies. It's incredibly ironic. And the fact that you said you weren't going to date anybody who had boys, and I have 3.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, kids in general.
Yeah.
Like, I avoided people like the plague, even when I first moved here, that wanted to hang out because they had kids.
And let's get this to be clear, guys. This isn't because she hates kids. It's because she was married and helped raise one.
Yeah.
And it hurts when you have to leave that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's painful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Here's another one. I love this question so much. I'm curious myself. What was the moment you knew it was forever? Or this was forever?
Dang. Can you answer it first so I can think?
I knew you were going to say that for me. Yeah, I remember the moment. I was already contemplating buying a ring at this point, but was giving myself time because I know I can be like impulsive. So I was allowing myself to go through the emotional ups and downs to feel all of it. But it was, and I think I've told you this, it was on our motorcycle ride.
Yeah.
We came out of your parents' driveway because we had stopped by there to get a helmet, and we came out and went left, and we were going down East Bay, and I just knew. Like, and then and there, it was like, you've been the only person in my life who has cared about me and loved me with no conditions or attachment at all. Like, you authentically are around me to love me just for the opportunity to get to love me, and you don't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, the sun was setting, and then we went down Navarre Beach in the sunset, like driving the motorcycle, and you were freezing. And then I came home and you did the dishes and I bought the ring. And then I waited 12 weeks for it to fucking get here.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that it was that day. I feel like I had a bunch.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like, I don't want to say that it wasn't like one very specific, like big lights in your face, like moment that it was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, I feel like it was like, it started out with like, this is different. Like, I'm going to handle this situation, even if it's a friendship, different. Like, I'm going to go into it with 100% trust, with 100% loyalty, with 100% everything, as opposed to 9 times out of 10 people are like, well, you need to build my trust. Well, you need to do this. Well, I have this wall. Yeah, you need to earn this. You need to break down the wall. You need to understand me as a person. It was more just like, I'm going to go into it because I feel that it's different. I'm going to handle things differently. I'm going to stop and listen. So it was like all these little tiny things each day that was like, yeah, it's more and more. Like, so it wasn't like, bam, this is going to be, I know that this is going to be forever. It was just like every day it was like that little bird on your shoulder. They're like, it's going to be forever. It's going to be forever.
Aww,
like,
that's cute.
And then each thing that would happen, they'd be like, duh, I'm trying to tell you it's going to be forever.
Like something's in there.
Yeah,
so it
like
wasn't a big
aha
moment, like, I don't know, like sex.
No.
Yeah, that one time we slept together that I knew like it was going to be forever. Hey, like, that's a real thing. I had to make sure I loved you before we even slept together because I wanted to make sure it was love and not pleasure. Like,
Yeah.
I loved you for you, not for
Yeah.
the physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
like,
a real thing.
I knew that we were going to be together before that.
Mm.
Like, I think that that's probably why it was, like, more nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Yeah, you were terrified.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, I don't know, it was just kind of like...
It's probably why you proposed after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I'm not delusional.
You're not delusional.
No. Yeah, that was a good question. Because, yeah, I didn't, like, it wasn't like, holy shit, this is gonna be forever. It was like little, like, things just yelling at me. It's gonna be forever. It's gonna be forever. Like, just paying attention to the signs, letting whatever happen.
Yeah. And I guess it wasn't really like that moment for me that I had. It was a moment that I decided I was willing to commit to forever.
Yeah.
Because nothing is forever, ever. But it was something that I was willing to commit to creating a forever with you.
Yeah.
And I've had people ask me, like, do you believe she's your soulmate or your twin flame or anything like that? Like, I believe we can have multiple soulmates, friends, animals, pets. You can have multiple soulmates over multiple lifetimes. But I think it, like, when people ask me that question, I'm always like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because all that matters is that I've chosen you as my partner to help to go through all the things, like being busy and abundant and buying a fucking house. And
damn near killing myself to get this house ready
in time, having the opportunity to be able to just work on the house for 2 straight weeks versus having to also put 40-hour weeks into jobs that you don't, necessarily love.
Yes.
Because that's no way to live your life.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah. I would have been dead for sure.
For sure. You're probably living like but now the next question was what did you think of astrology or star charts after we met? Like after I started reading your guys' star charts. Yeah.
They really crushed it with questions. That's a great question. What's cool is like I was very open to like learning anything. Like I'm not very religious, but that doesn't mean that like if somebody was telling me something that I would just spit in their face. Like it's not like that.
You're very open-minded.
Yeah.
Burning Man style.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't know much about it like at all. I know like I'm a Taurus. Like that's what I know. You know, I didn't even know too much about anything. But I will say like, and in mine, like at first it was to me like it's open to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Always.
And then the more that you learn about it, the more you're like, holy crap, like how would she know that?
What
We
the
just
fuck?
met. How did she know that about me?
Or your mom or your sister.
Or my mom, yeah. So yeah, it is really cool. And the biggest thing is like, even though that's what it is and that I know it all now, like I learned that at a specific time from a specific person. And yeah, but I am like the more I talk about all these stories, the more I'm like, I'm way more like go with the flow than I really realize. And I'm just like winging it, like, cool, teach me whatever and I'll see if I believe it. And,
yeah, I'm opening to listening.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's cool because we learn a lot still every day.
I think, yeah, it's incredibly validating.
Yeah.
Like, one thing you've said often is like, good, I'm not fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely not crazy. It was cool because in like ours, we had the only 2 star charts that said that we would live abroad. Mm-hmm. But my sister and the kids said that they would meet somebody abroad, not necessarily
or have a
live
career,
there.
a career abroad.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. There was something else though. Oh, that it called out my 2 marriages.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this thing knows.
The stars. It's written in the stars.
It's written in the stars.
Like
so the fact that my first
success
marriage
through
sucked.
business in marriage.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah. With the second one.
Yeah. Luckily it stops at 2.
Yeah.
You won't get divorced. Just be a widow.
Yeah, because I'll kill you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be an ex-wife. I'll kill you. It's just not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good question. A lot of them were like, was it love at first sight? What's your favorite quality about each other?
You're a dick.
Thanks.
That's what I like. That's my favorite quality about you.
That's the one secret you're going to tell the world is I'm a fucking asshole?
Oh my God. All right, let me just tell you. I'm going to say something, and hopefully like all these people that follow us on Instagram listen to this podcast, because I have been places like with Kat's work and like met people and like all of her great clients, and like we have been to places where like people think she shits glitter. And so we were in the car one day and I was like, I just want you to know that everybody thinks that you shit glitter, but you are a fuckface. And I know that you're a fuckface.
I'm an asshole because I love you.
Well, that's fine, yeah. But I know the truth.
You know the truth. Well, I'm glad everybody knows the truth, that I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, sorry.
You're a fuckface.
Nice.
I still think you shit glitter, though, sometimes.
Oh, that's great.
Not all the time, but sometimes. Yeah.
I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan.
Well, that's good.
Fangirl. Remember we talked about it?
Yeah.
I do fangirl over you.
Yeah, I love that I get to fangirl over my wife.
Yeah, me
It still
too.
feels weird saying wife.
Yeah.
I've never had a wife before.
I've never had a wife that's a boss. My boss.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say I've never had a wife who's an actual wife.
That too.
Like,
That too.
fuck.
That too. Hopefully she listens to your podcast one
That'd
day.
be great. Hey, how's it going? You love me, you hate me, and I'm a fuckface.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was great. This is how we met. Little tips here or there. I guess educating also the couple or the people out there on why lesbian relationships usually just excel. Honestly, when you were saying that and you were like, it's, you know, people just say it's based, you have to do it based on time, like the social norm, like you have to wait this many years before you get married.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the time construct of it, then lesbians should get married sooner and it'd be okay because they spend probably more time together in a smaller period of time. But okay, it's like 4 years, so let's say that's 36 hours.
Yeah.
Probably more, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that in a way, and it should be fine.
Yeah.
Also, when people ask, I'm like, well, we've both been married before, so we know exactly what we want this time around.
Yeah, that's true.
Which made the decision really easy.
Which also made it really strange because I feel like we had an experience with the marriage before, both of us, that it was like, I'm not fucking doing this again.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's why
I was
like
ready
almost,
to not be married again.
Yeah. So it was almost like shocking that we were like, yeah, we should just do that.
I know. It was like, oh yeah, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we also got married and threw a retreat for your clients.
Yeah, the retreat was incredible.
In the same weekend.
In the same weekend. We thought it'd be a great idea to get married just at the retreat on this beautiful, like, multi-million-dollar home in Pensacola on the beach. And most of the people I wanted to invite to the wedding were my clients who were invited to the retreat. So we were like, well, why not? Let's just do it in the same weekend. So we did. And Kyrstyn and Brooke are the real MVPs.
And Allie.
This one. And Allie, real MVPs.
Yeah.
Kyrstyn, Allie, and Brooke. And my sister coming in hot too. But
yes.
You guys are, the real MVPs to help pull off not only a beautiful little wedding, but an entire business retreat as well, which was pretty bomb. And the next one's going to be dope. Especially not having a wedding in the middle. But we still might have to have like an extravagant fun party.
Ooh, yeah.
Hoorah. Fun party.
Yeah.
All out. Get dressed up. Take some cool
formal
bomb-ass photos. Twerk on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
People are like, what business retreat are you going to?
Right.
Why don't you get to reconnect with yourself? Duh. So, all right. Well, I guess this one comes to a close here. Please remember that I am doing a giveaway for the podcast, for my podcast listeners. So if you go ahead and leave a review, the more reviews we get and the higher reviews we have, the more people we have the ability to impact and get our message out there. So as a reward to anybody who leaves a review, I am doing a giveaway, or I do giveaways for free card readings, as well as or you get to choose for a free nutrition recipe book too. I give that one away. People really love the card readings though.
Yeah.
They're really fun. And of course, like a 15-minute card reading goes into like a 30-minute one-on-one coaching session. But just giving out the love and value, which is great. So we will be back soon. What is the plan with this podcast, my podcast manager?
That's a good question. I haven't quite gotten that far yet.
All right.
We are going to come up with a plan, though.
It's going to be a beautiful plan that we're going to launch, do it, and then review it, and then do it again.
Yes.
Because it's going the flow and getting out all of the vibrational content out there as much as possible so we can help people, as many people as we possibly can. Especially since we've now grown this business to a 6-figure business, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please leave a review. Appreciate you. Drink your fucking water. Protect your energy. And don't forget to just listen to yourself once in a while. So, all right. Love you. And we'll talk to you soon.